Bom, 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 bororo. Ba-da-da-do-do-do-do. Boo-doo-doo. Boo-doo-doo-dum. Boom, boom. Boo-doo. Boo-doo. Boo-doo-doo-doo. Boo-doo. 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 Boo-doo-doo-doo. Boo-doo-doo. 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 Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Boo-doo-doo. Boo-doo-doo. Oh, Jennifer J. Sarchicino. First one to the chat. You won a chicken dinner from somebody. Probably somewhere that has chicken. What's up, Internet? What's going on? It was a million bazillion degrees today. And Jennifer has pointed it out that it was 100 million. It was 100 million degrees today. Jadron Aquatics, what's up? The bearded fish keeper. Hola, muchacho. Jennifer was mentioning that it was over 100 today. Yes, it was extremely, extraordinarily, blazingly hot. Still hot. I'm a little bit late to the live stream because I had to do a little car repairs and diagnostic stuff for the mother-in-law. Something's going on with her battery and alternator, and tested the electrical system to figure out what's going on. Everything's working well, but the car dealership wanted to take her money, and so I'll be doing a brake job this weekend, apparently, which is totally cool. Hey, let's not spend the money when we have the knowledge, know-how, and ability to do these things like brake jobs or replace alternators or batteries or figure out whatever that oil leak is. I don't know what the oil leak is yet. I got to put it up on some stands to figure out what it is. They're claiming that the head gasket is bad. Interesting. So, we'll be figuring that out this weekend. So, sorry for my tardiness, you guys. I'm sorry for being tardy. It's 8:42 Pacific Standard Time. So, hey, you know, we all got those family duties that we got to show up for, right? We all got them family duties we got to do, and that's one of them, and I'm happy to be available for it. My lovely spouse made some stir fry for dinner tonight. We had that, and all is well, because I got to eat dinner, and we've been busy. It's been nothing but busy. It's been nothing but busy around here, and although that is a little bit stressful, there are far worse things in the world than being super busy. For instance, you know, getting these new tanks going, working on big projects, got family stuff going on. It's just hectic. It's somehow 100 million degrees outside all the time. The sun is out seemingly nonstop at this point. It gets light out at 5 and is still light out at 10 o'clock. Right now it's 8:45. And I know y'all can't see it because, yeah, whoops, I opened the window, but y'all can't see it. It is still sunny out. Obviously, it's not pure daylight, but it sure ain't dark. It sure ain't dark out there, guys. But we've got a few more months of this super extended daylight photosynthetic period, so we might as well take advantage of it, right? While we can. Urutu has a good point. I am a lucky man that I get to eat dinner. I somehow managed to fit that in with all the other craziness I got going on, although I have to eat my lunch out of a box while I sit on the ground, because that's just the way that I got to do it these days. Not so bad. It's not so bad. My life's pretty darn good. I'm pretty grateful for how my life is and how things are going. If anybody thinks otherwise, that is not the case, because I'm super happy to be involved in all of the things that I'm involved in. Although, I will make a note here at the beginning of the live stream Renan S. Hola, muchacha. Or muchacho. I don't know. Is it muchacha or muchacho? I don't know. Renan is kind of... It's kind of an asexual name. But anyhow, I was saying that I wanted to talk about something here at the very beginning of the live stream because I have a new goal. Okay? I have a new goal in mind. I noticed something the other day that I was looking into. Nowadays, they are making shipping containers. Renan S. says male, so that's a muchacho. Hey, muchacho. So, the thing that I wanted to mention was something I noticed recently is that people have been making swimming pools out of old shipping containers, right? So, and here's the thing. What they're building there with those swimming pools is a swimming pool that's like, it's sort of, I can't really think of the word, modular is the word I'm thinking of. Theo Valdez is showed up. What's up? What's going on? Just talking about the swimming pools made out of old shipping containers. I have a new goal now. And here's the thing. Now I know how much they cost, okay? Because there's a company that is making them and they have listed their prices online, okay? So now we have a good idea of what it's going to cost. I know that I can get a shipping container myself for $1,500 delivered and dropped off. Now, here's the problem. It would take me quite a bit of work and time and everything to do anything with one once I had it. I can't move it around. I don't have the equipment to move it here. So I would end up having a big brick that I would have to try and contend with and battle with and not be able to move around because I don't have like a front end loader or anything like that, or even access to one here. So I would have to either rent equipment to do it, which I'm not interested in, and I don't want to do a big dig with like a backhoe in my backyard because where our sewer line goes would be right in the way. So I don't want to relocate or anything like that at this point. I could do it if endless money was available. But here's the point. They have a price posted online of how much it is to get one of these that's ready for a pool. Now, that filtration and everything in there is easily modified slightly. The equipment that they have in there I'm fairly familiar with. We don't run into it very often, but I'm fairly familiar with a lot of the equipment in there and how it's plumbed and all that kind of stuff. So there wouldn't be too much modification going on. But here is the big thing. It's completely water sealed and guaranteed and has a big-ass viewing panel on one side, right? That big-ass viewing panel on that side would cost me a lot of money to get made, a lot of time and hassle to try and install, right? And if those guys are just fabricating it, at least we have an idea of what that costs. So that basically a modular tank like that, I think they were saying that they cost about $14,000, and you have to wait a couple months for them to actually make the damn thing. Now, that to me seems completely reasonable. That's a reasonable amount of money to really shoot for if I was going to shoot for a project like that. But it also gives me an idea of how much it would cost to get, because I could basically just order those. So let's say you wanted to set up 3 of those, you know what I'm saying? You go, okay, I need $42,000, right? I go order 3 of them. They can show up and get dropped off. So now this actually gives me a legitimate amount of money that it would cost to set up a couple of modular tanks like that and get them up and running, because you basically would just need to fill them with water at that point. So that is pretty reasonable. Carson was saying, it has a good point right here. Okay, so Rubutu, I'll answer that in a second. Carson said, look at what that 800-gallon cost out of acrylic, which Corey posted a video where he said how much it cost. It cost $15,000 for that 800-gallon tank, which is worth every freaking penny. I'm telling you, that's what that thing is worth. That's pretty much what it costs to have somebody make it. I tell you, I've made tanks before. I know how much those materials cost. That actually is a good deal for all the finish work, for the stand, for the welding, for all of the stuff that went into it. That is a good deal. That is not a bad deal. That is a good deal. So the thing is that I think we did the math on this a little while ago. And I really got to, hold on, I got to do this again. This is going to take a minute. So let's say, I don't know, I got people on Facebook are texting me and stuff. So if that thing is, let's say that it's, so they're 8 foot wide, right? I don't know. I forget. We did this a while ago, and I'm not very much on the ball math-wise today, so I'll be brutally honest with that. I think it came out to, I think it was like 16,000 gallons or something like that is how big that is. Hold on a second. Let me look at this up. There it is. Mod Pools right there. Mod Pools are the guys that do this. Variable speed pumps from 400, scoobity boop boop boop. You need 40 amp service, easy. You need 122/40 single phase, okay, easy. They heat them. You can heat them with natural gas or propane, easy. So the electrical is basically just running pretty standard electrical, nothing that big. Does the window come standard? Yes, the window comes standard. If for whatever reason you do not require the window, we will credit your order. So you can actually get one without a window in it for cheaper. Oh, okay. These ones here are more expensive than what I saw. So the 8 by 40 is 35,000. Okay. And maybe this is a different company than what I was looking at. Must be. So the 8 foot by 40 is 12,000 pounds, blah, blah, blah. Mod pool, okay, so there's different companies that are doing this, so maybe that's the one that I looked at before. But let's say, okay, shipping container pool, okay, yep, there we go. All right, yep. So these guys, all right, well, okay, so the $14,000 mark I got was from a different company than Mod Pools. Okay, but let's say that it's let's just go with the Mod Pools thing here, and go with that it is 35,000, which is a lot more than the other one that I saw. Although the 8 foot by 20 foot one is only $26,000. Okay, so hypothetically, let's say you get 2 of the 8 foot by 20 foot. So let's do the math there real quick. So 8 foot by 20, so 2. So every 2 foot is going to be 2, 4, 6, 8 is 1,000. 8 is 1,000. 2,500. So every 2 foot is 2,500 gallons, and there says here that they're 8 foot deep. So you'd have a 10,000 gallon tank if you get the 8 foot by 20 is 10,000 gallons. The 8 foot by 40 would be approximately 20,000 gallons. So you could actually get, realistically, as I said, the price point that I had before was around 14,000, 15,000 was the price point that I got. Maybe that's a cheaper, simpler system or something along those lines, but okay, Barutu, I just did the math on that. So an 8 foot by 20 would be, shit, what did I say? Now I got to figure it out again. 10,000 gallons or 20,000 gallons. Let's just say that, right? Which is a sizable tank because you could do quite a bit with that size of a tank. Sorry about that. I had to I have to hydrate, guys. I've been sweating bullets all day long. Yeah, good point. I'll write it down. But, so we got 10K gallon, 20K gallon. But either way, that would give us a really good idea that, let's say you wanted to do one of the 10,000 gallon ones, and let's say it came in at 20 grand and then 10 grand worth of, let's say if you're going to do a reef with it, about 10 grand worth of equipment after that fact, for about 30 grand, you could really get, you know, about the biggest reef around. So this is my new goal, is that these modular tanks might be the key. And then I was also looking at some steel buildings, which you have to pour the concrete and get the permits yourself. You have to pour the concrete pad and everything, which I've done plenty of times. So this is also an idea that I'm having in regards to these modular pools and a building. I'm thinking, because the building I looked at was meant to park 2 18-wheeler trailers in it. So you could actually have 2 in there. And I think that would probably be something that is maybe a crazy harebrained idea, but is something that could be achievable with a reasonable amount of crazy idea, right? I mean, that's realistically, if let's say that the building altogether is 15, 20 grand, you know, because about 5 grand for the pad, and then you can actually order the building. The building you can order. It's essentially prefabbed, right? So they build it, they get all the parts, and then they bring it out to you and they assemble it onto your pad for that same amount of money. And I think that this is something that I think this might be my new goal. This might be my new goal, is to get a couple of these tanks, a couple of these 20,000 gallon tanks. Now, it seems insane. It seems like a totally crazy harebrained idea, but I think it's doable because that's not so far out of reach. You know what I'm saying? That's not $1 million. That's not $10 million. That's not anything like that. This is something that is being pretty regularly done by people. So the gears have started grinding in my brain to go, hey, wait a minute. Now, this is this might be a thing. This might be a thing that is doable down the road here. So I'm going to see what I can do to put a few things together. I've got a couple of ideas. If Jennifer's asking a great point, would I swim in my tanks? Yes, I would for sure swim in my tanks if they were that big. I would 100% swim around in there. Actually, it's the only way to escape a tank that's that big is to actually swim around in there with some snorkel and a pipe and stuff. As Jennifer was saying, it's super hot out, and trying to keep the house temp at 74 to 80 seems to be working as long as the room AC doesn't die. Yeah, I would say the easiest way to one of the big reasons that we built out this whole fish room out here is every inch of that thing is insulated. So even if you go into the other part of my shop, it is about 104 degrees in the other part of my shop. If you go into where the fish are in the fish room, you go in there, guess what temperature it is? 69 degrees. It just rock solid, just sits right at that temperature. Probably because the ambient heat from the fish tanks and stuff rolling around in there. But if I go back in there tomorrow morning, it'll probably be 67 in there, even though the overnight temperature will dip down quite a bit. Ruruchu's asking, am I going to be a reef wholesaler? I really doubt at any point in time I'll ever become a wholesaler. Everyone I know that is in the wholesaling business they do a lot of stuff that I'm not a huge fan of. And if I was going to be a wholesaler, I realistically would wholesale produce or something like that. I wouldn't go into wholesaling as a business in that degree, like for fish and live things and stuff like that. Most of the wholesalers I know are just like, this is a job. You just get stuff in, you get the orders, you order the stuff, and then you send it out the door. You know, and you're being like this weird drug dealer middleman guy. You know, I don't know. That isn't something that I would really want to be involved in business-wise. Like, oh, I'm going to make money by selling stuff that other people send me. I don't know. It's just weird. It's not something that would work for me. It's just my personality would not jive on what I want to do. If that was something I wanted to do, like I said, I'd probably start a small produce wholesaler, reseller, or something like that, and just sell to restaurants and stuff. It's something I know 100% and could do that. Carson's asking, what about a half container, like the smaller ones? You could go half buried and get it 4 foot down and 4 foot in the air. Yeah, I have considered for our pond. That's why this thought process with these crazy shipping container pools came into my head, was because my original thought process for the pond that we're going to do was to bury a half-size shipping container. But, and this is a big but, and a strong but, a strong, big but, it was going to be too big. We don't have a 20-foot stretch that makes sense with our overall plan. And there's really no way to shorten those up. I mean, there's a way to shorten them, but it would be way too much work. It would be way too much work here, like at my house. I mean, I don't have, I have a welder and all that kind of stuff, and I can weld small things, but I'd have to rent a welder and big cutters and I'd have to rent a front end loader because a forklift won't go back there because I don't have concrete. So that would be a big no-no with what I got going on. And like I said, I would also have to relocate the main doo-doo drain line from here because it goes right past where that would be. So one of the big reasons where the greenhouse is going to go is because that's where our sewer main runs, right from the house out back that direction. So that's one of the reasons that the greenhouse is going to be there. Then the pond will actually be next to it. And then with our overall plan, like I said, we don't have enough space to go out that direction with anything like a whatchamacallit, like that shipping container to be buried in the ground. That was my initial thought, and I still think it's a great idea. I've seen a few people do it before with their backyard ponds, and it seems to work out really well. It definitely gives you enough depth to actually run and jump and swim around in it if you want. I don't like to get koi doo-doo on my body. But it would probably be pretty enjoyable. I can see how that would go. And Vinny Mac has showed up. What's up, my man? It's one of my old schooler, the old fooler. Vinny Mac. What the heck is going? Joel Gillett's here, man. What's up? He's being quiet tonight. He's being quiet. He's lurking around and just listening to stuff. Rhiannon hates big bits, and you cannot lie, because you other brothers can't deny. But let's see here. Oh, we're at the 23-minute mark of my yammering here. Let's get to the video portion, but before we do that, 3 ways to support the channel. 1, click the button and subscribe and hit the like and hit the blah, 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 and share it on Facebook or do all of that bullshit. This is the advertising part. I'm trying to get through it as fast as possible. Or you could go to darkstararts.com and wave your hands around like you just don't care, and go through the Amazon banner and buy a new cell phone and some old envelopes and some toothpicks and get yourself a tape measure because you're tough. But there's that. Go to darkstararts.com and go through the Amazon banner and buy your pantyhose and whatever weirdness. That will give us a support. Doesn't change the price, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. If you don't, if you're not savvy with the Amazon banner, just go to darkstararts.com and click on the Amazon banner. The third and easiest, most simplest, fastest, quickest, dopest way of doing it is to click on the super chat down below and just figure out how much money you have in your bank account, copy and paste that right down into the super chat, and send it on over this way. Hopefully Jeff Bezos or one of those cool cats will swing in here and realize that I want to build a giant reef-sized shipping container pond in my backyard, and maybe they'll just throw down a couple $100 million or something like that, and we'll get that damn thing thrown in the backyard. But that's what's going on. To all of the reigning champions of the Super Chat, Eddie Kaitia and Aquarium Co-op are the two reigning champions of the Super Chat from this channel. Thanks. Special thanks to the top supporters. Thanks, guys. And as always, Eddie Kaitia, you can just call him up and he'll, I don't know what he sells. Is he buying or selling? I don't know if he's buying or selling or doing anything like that. I figure he's just being a cool dude. Corey at Aquarium Co-op is a local fish store. You can definitely check him out on YouTube. If you haven't seen his YouTube channel, you're probably missing out. I don't know. He's got about 100,000 more subscribers than me, so I figure you probably know who he is, and reigning champion of the Super Chat department. But thanks to those guys, and let's move on to the video section. Video section, video section, video section, just like old VHS stores. You guys remember those old VHS stores? Who remembers that? Who remembers those old VHS stores? Does anybody remember VHS stores? I have to wait for you guys to catch up when I'm talking on here. But anyhow, we're going to go on to the video part. Does anybody remember those VHS stores? You remember how ridiculous it was when you'd show up there and they didn't have the movie? It always made me so sad. But luckily, oh, you guys remember Hollywood Video? Hollywood Video, I had a homeboy that was a manager there. So I could always hit him up and be like, hey man, does somebody return one? Like, whatever. And guy could hook it up. Guy could hook it up. Jennifer misses Video. I don't know why. Oh, if anybody is missing VHS videos and lives in the Tacoma area, we went out and got sushi the other night at the market. So inside this like Asian food store, if you've ever been to like an Asian grocery store, they have this like dope food court in there. You got like bulgogi and like sushi, and then another place that does like handmade dumplings. And there also is a boulangerie in there with the French bakery style place. Fucking was awesome. Here's the crazy thing about it. It was so awesome. We ate a bunch of food. We bought a bunch of stuff. And they had a VHS rental store inside there. So if anybody really needs to rent some VHSs in the Tacoma area, they have them there, and you can go rent them old school style. Or maybe you have to buy them. I'm not sure. I couldn't read any of the signage. I didn't know what any of the movies were. But maybe I'll go grab one or two. And I don't have a VHS. I don't have a VCR. Damn it. Maybe they have a VCR I could borrow. I don't know. I'll look into it, guys, and get back to you on that VHS thing. Hey, man, I got some great video of the sand-sifting diamond goby, which I don't think is necessarily the right name for this goby. I think it's yellow-spotted sand-sifting goby. He doesn't seem to be a diamond now that I've actually had a chance to look at him. He seems like a spotted. Although, you know, it's all really fairly debatable because these gobies, there are only at least over 2,000 varieties of them in the wild. So always a debate to find out exactly which one you got. Carson's asking, am I ready for corals yet? Yeah, man, I got 2 in there already, man. I got some shrooms, and I got me some it's in my head. It's in there somewhere. Kenya tree. Boom. Got some Kenya tree and some shrooms in there just to get them started. Later on in the video here, you guys will know why I haven't added a whole bunch of coral yet. But I've added a couple, and we've got a couple of fish. And boy, howdy, was this little guy out rummaging and getting a little food. His belly's looking a little thin, but one of the reasons he's out rummaging for food is that he ate some of the food that I fed him. So Hopefully he is doing fine. And the other two fish are doing fantastic. Nothing weird going on with them, with the Royal Grama and the otherwise known as, what did we name him? Klaus. Klaus is doing well. Also, I have no idea what this guy's name is. We'll find out. I forget what the purple guy's name was, too. I don't know. But I can't really get any good video of Klaus with this lens. So I have to grab one of my other lenses and get a little bit of a little zoom action to get some better shots of him. Although anybody that follows on Instagram probably saw the best picture I could get out of a off of my off of my phone on my camera. And let's see, Robert was texting me about his CO2 regulator gave out, and he was asking about which one to get. Milwaukee then. There we go. I was telling him that Aquatec is the best regulator I've used sustainably over a long time, CO2 regulator, and he was saying that was the one that gave out on him, so I was giving him the advice that the Milwaukee might be a better option. Eddie West just got a Dragon Goby and an Engineer Goby yesterday. That is badass. Engineer Goby is on my list. Though I honestly have to do a little more research into regards to which gobies are really going to battle it out. But luckily I have enough space here in the 180 to have quite a few bottom dwellers. And I think I've gone away from the pistol shrimp. I don't know if I'm going to go pistol shrimp unless I get a Watchman or something like that. Would probably be the deal. Rutu's asking, how thick is that sand bed? It's pretty thick in this spot right here. I definitely have a bunch of scaping to do still, and I might remove a little bit. But, you know, it's, hold on. Let me get the tape measure out here. Let me tape measure it. Let me throw the tape on here. So the tape measure says it's 2 5/8 inches deep. So that's pretty good. Carson is recommending to get some panda gobies, and I'm having trouble thinking about what those are exactly off the top of my head. So what I'm going to do here, damn it, what the stupid thing. Kadoosh. We're going to go ahead and look these up real quick. Oh my God, panda gobies are so freaking cute. Oh my God, damn. Those are some cute-ass fishes. Holy shit, we got a pistol shrimp here with a different goby. Flagtail shrimp goby. Flagtail goby with a pistol goby. Oh, my God. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely where I got to be living right here, is in the world of the gobies. They're kind of my favorite little busters, man. I'm telling you. Good job, Renan. I Googled it. And those are some cute little busters, man. If somebody's got those for sale, they better let me know, because I'll probably go buy them and not even think twice about it, and not even make solid fish decisions. Just show up and, I'm going to buy those. How long is this video that I made? Does he come back? Hold on, I'm fast forwarding it, guys. We're going to skip through here. No, he doesn't even come back. He's just off there. All right. Well, we'll go on to the second portion of the video where I'm actually doing stuff. Oh, no, I'm not doing anything in this part of the video. We got the, I got to make sure I'm saying this right, because I realized I was saying it wrong. Gardneri Killies that are in the 240. And I threw some fish food in there for them, and they did not give a rat's ass about the food that I threw in there. They just looked at me like I was a total dipshit and went back to doing what they were doing. So these little Killies are doing great so far. They are ruling this tank with an iron fist. They are just like, this is my zone. This is what I'm going to do, and we're going to battle royale and see who's going to win this thing. But luckily, they're starting to kind of figure out their areas and where they're trying to be. Everyone is frantically trying to breed from the male end. The females are just trying to fend off the frantic breeding that is coming at them at all times, pretty much. They're not stressed out about it. Luckily, the Killies don't seem to be too bothered by it, and there's enough space in here for them. I've got 3 pairs that were really paired up when I got them at the store, and now it's kind of chaos as far as who is trying to breed with who. It seems like everybody's trying to breed with everybody, and one of them is set up shop into the overflow chamber and stays there overnight, and then I go, oh, shop in the overflow as his home. One of them actually goes, shit, he must have jumped out or something, and then before too long, once the lights come on, he comes out to find out what's going on, which is very interesting. I don't normally ever see that out of a fish. It's a strange personality trait, but he probably goes over there because it seems to be the safest spot. So far, these are really the only guys that I can do much as far as filming goes in the tank because the apistos are so damn small. So they're small, and I really have to find them. So far, I've definitely spotted at least 4 of them doing well. So they are tiny, and they are hiding out because the Killies are... So the apistos are just big enough to not be a snack, which we're lucky there because the Killies were interested in trying to eat them, and luckily they're big enough to get away and are beyond the I'm snack food youngsters, so they can actually get away, and it's not that big of a deal. And realistically, the Killies aren't that much in hot pursuit. They're more seemingly doing the kind of behavior that says this is my area more than anything else. Although I do think they ate 1 or 2 of the shrimp because I had to go around and net the shrimp out of there, and I put them in the sump. So those couple of the what, like 8 or 9 cherry shrimps we got from Potato Bro, ended up sticking them down in the sump. I haven't seen anybody. I think killifish will eat their fry, but I'm pretty sure, if I recall, it's been a while since I've tried to breed these guys, but I think from the last time, the female or the male, I can't remember off the top of my head, but one of them will hang around and defend the shit out of their young. If something goes desperately wrong, they'll end up eating them. But they will definitely defend them once that breeding actually happens. They're sort of right now in the charged up kind of courting phase, realistically. But they will, from all of the behavior that they're doing, I would say that they will probably be breeding at any given point in time fairly soon. As soon as somebody becomes gravid, they'll be breeding. You know what I'm saying? But all is well, realistically, in this tank, except for, I think, the introduction of this fish has stirred up some nonsense. It definitely stirred up some crap out of the little kind of sandy areas that I have in this tank. So I'm having to go through and do a little bit more cleaning, a little bit more maintenance, and get some heavier water changes out of the deal. I'm going to do another one tomorrow. And then we had a slight snafu with the filter floss and the plecos. Oh, that was the thing that I needed to hit on. The plecos. Oh, hey man, don't forget the bushy. Don't forget the bushy, the bristle nose, bushy nose. Plecos. They all seem to be doing fairly well at this point in time. I've got half up in the tank, and I've got the other half are down in the sump. And Vicky was checking out what was going on and netted one out of the sump and kind of bonked a few things around, which is not a big deal. And the filter floss down there, like, and sent out a bunch of dust yesterday, so that's why I didn't really shoot any video yesterday. But I was doing a water change and changing those pads anyhow, so it really wasn't any kind of weird things. Carson's asking what kind of plecos. The bushy nose, the bristle nose. We got 3 different kinds. We got the red ones, the orange ones, and the motley looking. It's like a dark gray with like light spots on it, a spotty one. So they should be coming out pretty cool. Hopefully once they get big enough to start breeding, hopefully we'll end up with over capacity bristle noses in here. But I'm honestly feeling a little I don't know, what's the word? Oh, chocolate. Renan. Yes. Chocolate, bristle, bushy, bristle, bushy, bushy, bristle nose, pleco. So, this tank is just kind of sitting right now in this like grow out phase, which is fairly boring, honestly. I mean, I could sit here and kind of watch the plants grow, but I'm at the point now where I got to start swapping these lights out. That's kind of the last thing I have, and build the rest of the stand and do some of the finish work on it. Though I'm not 100% excited to get onto that part of the deal. So I'm not 100% sure yet what I'm going to be doing. I think I'm going to start working on the 180 and Vicky's 75. Since we haven't been able to find a 120 yet for Vicky, I think what I'm going to do is just get her 75 set up, let her get that thing running, and then when we do find a 120, we'll just go ahead and swap the damn thing out. I think that's seems to be the most logical thing to do at this point, because if I spend some time on my 180, her tank's still going to just be sitting there. So that is going to be a little bit. It's going to be a little bit awkward if I've gotten 2 tanks running and then I start working on my 3rd one and I don't get hers going. That's not Aquarium Co-op. That's Aquarium Cop. What's up, Aquarium Cop? What's going on? Carson has a green and blue Phantom Pleco. Oh, that's pretty dope. That is pretty good. Jennifer has a longfin albino and 2 chocolates. All males. Uh-oh. You need some females up in there. You need some females up in there. You need to put a male and a female together in order to get them to combine forces to make babies. I think I remember that from a thing that I read in a book. But I think that book was about birds. Maybe it was an illustrated book about birds. Oh, that's a terrible song. Where did the... Oh, there it is. I got the button clicked. All right. It's a good thing. It's a good thing I clicked that button. Otherwise, those buttons wouldn't be working. Captain Spicy's here. What is going on? Rutu wants some long fin bristlenose. They're pretty cool fish, I'll admit. I was really upset that none of ours made it. Mine boiled out, and mine didn't make it. And that stupid crystal shrimp fiasco, a boil out. Speaking on the crystal shrimp, the shrimp thing is still weird. Although, here's what I got. I actually have my phone today, which is kind of helpful if I was gonna look stuff up on it. Hold on, I have a picture here of the guy. Not the guy, but it's like the guy's handle and stuff. Hold on a second. Let me look this thing up. Looking it up. Looking it up. Looking it up on the telephone. Where did it go? 'Cause I screenshot. Maybe I lost it. Oh, crap. Be like, hey, you guys, where did it go? Oh, crap. I thought I had a screenshot of the guy. I thought I had a... Now I feel like an idiot. This is pretty good. This is a pretty good live stream, right? There's my dead chicken. That pisses me off. Crap. Oh. No. This... Damn it. Alright, well, I'll try to find it. Albums? Screenshots. Ha-ha! Alright, well, here's the thing I was talking about earlier. I have a screenshot of the building. So the building that I want to get built is going to be 16 grand. Which isn't bad at all. And that will actually be a, hold on, 36 by 30 foot building with a 16-foot peak, so it has a loft up top. So it has kind of like a storage area up top. 2 roll doors, and a window and a regular door. So it's got like two rolling garage doors. And damn it, I seem to have lost. I don't understand. I don't understand how this stupid thing saves some stuff and not some other things. I don't know, whatever. I thought I screenshot it. Sorry, guys. Maybe I should have looked that up before I started the live stream. But yeah, sorry about that. Like a bozo, I was trying to look something up on my phone. Birds make babies with bees. Good point. Purchased a 5 and got all males. Rehome 2. Ah, that sucks. All males out of the batch. You got to get males and females, man. 1 in 25 chance of that, Jennifer, if males and females are equally likely. They aren't, actually. Females are more likely. Shouldn't have pictures of dudes on your phone. What would Vicky think if she saw them? It's all like the Big Lebowski and Sam Elliott and stuff. Pictures of dudes on my phone. That's all stuff I send her anyhow. Carson Anderson needs a 10-gallon sump built, by the way. I do not have a 10-gallon tank, so tough titties. You need a 20-gallon sump? I could build you a 20-gallon sump, but I don't have a 10-gallon tank to build a sump out of. Anywhere. I don't have one anywhere. I got 20 gallons. But other than that, I got nothing. Carson, sorry. Do you have a separate channel devoted to singing? No, I don't have another channel devoted to singing. I don't do music production anymore, other than just the kind of wonky shit I make for this, like the intros and that kind of stuff. Oh, man, the video ended. Jeez, man, I'm like not even watching the controls over here. All right, now we're done with the freshwater tank. We're going to go back to the saltwater tank, back to the reef. Oh, so hot. It's hot in here. I had my office all shut, closed, and all the computers were all running great and everything. They're running all day and stuff, and it was super hot out, and it is warm in here. So I got sweaty. I got sweat where sweat shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? No, you know what I'm saying. So those of you that are seeing what the heck is going on here, I have a modified chamber filter here. For the reef, for the initial setup. I'm running 2 carbon filters. This used to be a Rodi unit, R-O-D-I unit. I'm just using the filters in it in order to run in the initial setup and to get any kind of weird toxins out of it and stuff like that. And today we're going to be putting the skimmer in, and anybody that's confused to how our skimmer goes in, you can watch me put it in, fail, and then get it in. Which is pretty typical of most dudes, if you know what I'm saying. Carson has a 10-gallon, and he will bring it to me. Hey, bring it to me on Saturday. I'm apparently going to be, I'm going to be doing brake jobs, and there's going to be a garage sale. We're going to have a garage sale here, so if anybody in the Tacoma area wants to come by and get a basically a free fish tank. I'm gonna put a bunch of fish tanks out there on the lawn. I got some 40 breeders I need to get rid of. I got a couple 20s that need to go. 20 longs, if anybody wants a 20 long or anything like that, you guys can come by and get that. I also have a 110 with an internal internal filter that's an acrylic tank. If anybody wants to come buy that too, just a heads up to anybody in Western Washington if you want to come by, and we'll sell you some garage sale stuff. Got a bunch of people coming to throw stuff on the lawn and get weird, so Saturday would be good. Carson's asking, yeah, these are modded. They're essentially Rodi reactor, whatever you want to call it. They're just modded so that I can run a pump through them, and then I'm running the oh, hold on. I've freaking got one right here. I've got one right here. I forgot that I just got this one in the mail. So I'll take the top off. I'll show this to you. All right. So there's the bottom, right? That's where this thing goes. And that makes a loud noise when I clunk it down. Then there's the top. And this one actually has a relief pressure valve on it. So you can actually relieve the pressure if needed, or blow off the gas if needed. Air gas. And let's check the spec on this one. Here's the tiny printed spec sheet. Filter change instructions, housing care, installation instructions and guidelines. 1. Turn off water supply to filter. 2. Depress the release button if present and relieve pressure in filter housing. 3. Unscrew housing and... Alright, whatever. I don't need them instructions. I like being able to see the mic. I like having the mic up here. I like to have the mic right up here in my face, so that people know that it's not magic. It's not magic. It's technology. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Luke, what's going on? I'm trying to... Hold on. Yeah. It's fucking space plastic. Yeah. That was chaos. That was pure chaos. All right. Rurutu, it doesn't matter what brand of skimmer I happen to have here, because this company is long out of business. This is actually a self-leveling skimmer, and tomorrow I'm going to be adding a Coral Life skimmer that you can actually go out and buy. That is actually one that you can go buy. This one you can't go buy, so it wouldn't matter, honestly. It'd be super rare to actually find this thing anywhere. You can go by looking for it by look, and you could probably find it. But they were a great company that went out of business, and their name escapes me, but they've been out of business for like 10 years. I tried to find a replacement part for this a long time ago and could not find it. But I do have something interesting coming along. I'm actually going to start I'm going to send specs to Matthew Weber and have him print me out some, on his 3D printer, print me out some custom skimmer cap cover tops. Which I am pretty excited for and completely forgot about until just now. So I'm actually talking about it because I remember that's something that I need to do. I need to delicately measure them and get the size specifications. What's up? Oh, Luke just got home from the gym, just getting blasted, just getting yoked, getting jacked, getting super buff, ripped. Or maybe just doing some light cardio for health. Hold on. So, all right, I got a filter cartridge here. This is a basic Micron filter cartridge. This is just gonna get, whatever kind of doo-doo stuff. This one is down to 1 micron. I don't ever buy the 5 micron ones. Those ones just don't seem to pull anything out of the water that matters in my world. So I get the 1 micron ones. They cost a little bit extra, but it just pops in over this little nubbin down here at the bottom. I still got the plastic on it, so of course it's not going to cooperate. And then the top goes on like so. Boop, boop, boop. Schwabbity douche. These are the super cheap filters, the ones I'm waiting for to come from space. Where the hell they're coming from, the dark side of the moon or whatever. I'm waiting on those in the mail. They should be here sometime Sunday or whatever. Then I'll be able to properly filter my water before I make it fully into the reef and not have to wait 5 days in order for it to get done, like the last time I had to run water. Hopefully I'm going to speed it up. I learned some tricks from a local store owner, and I'll be implementing those and show you how that gets done, how that gets though it may or may not matter. But yeah, you can see here up on the top there's an in and an out. Very simple design pressed into the plastic. I think Pentex makes this one. No, I might be wrong. I'm not sure. I think this one was about $12 on Amazon. Maybe $15. But I needed an extra one because I'm going to tell you guys something that's kind of embarrassing. I took one of those ones off over there, and I was feeling very clumsy. I was feeling very clumsy, and I dropped it, and I cracked the canister. I got a lot of power, kids, okay? I got a lot of power, and sometimes I drop things directly onto hard cement and break them. So that happened. I needed to order another one, and one of them is going to get sidelined and brought into the house so that I can filter Victoria's drinking water for her to get the chlorine and all that kind of stuff out of it before she drinks it. The doctors believe that she has a sensitivity to the chlorine in the water, so I like to take care of my lady, and if it's something I know how to do, I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to do it. I'm going to put the legwork in, and then she's going to be able to fill up her she has these big water jugs, and then she puts those aside and drinks just that water. People are going to wonder what's going on with this skimmer setup over here and wonder why I have it running on full blast. This is how you got to set it up off the bat. No bubbles or anything like that. You just have to have it running on pure water while this thing starts to settle in. It basically needs to build up a protein film and all that scum and all that stuff inside it. It's going to take a little while. This thing is going to be a little bit of a biatch for the better part of the next couple weeks. Realistically. Oh, Luke's got to go. Good night, everybody. Oh, he's got to go. That's just a quick visit to the stream. Sometimes you got to stop in and hit the like button and then head on down the road. I appreciate it, though. Oh, man, I'm falling behind on the chat over here. Nobody's super chatting. Corvus, Luke was saying, Corvus, I watched your video about CChem Matrix and how you exposed CChem about pumice. I went on a hike and found some pumice and boiled it and prepared it for my tank. There you go. That is cool. That pumice, yeah, the CChem guys want me to take that video down and then go fuck themselves. I don't really care what they think. I like that company a lot. I like most of their products, almost every single one of their products, including the CChem Matrix. Yet they want to get mad at me and talk about proprietary pumice and how they cleaned it, and that's how it was worth it. Never had a problem with that product itself as pumice. Pumice works great. But, yeah, end rant. Sorry about that. Bit of a dingleberry sometimes when people bring that up. I don't like seeing all those small rocks near the skimmer pump. Yeah, me neither. I don't like seeing them all there. It'll probably get into that pump. I got lots of backup pumps. Not a big deal. You ever put a tube in the center? Could use it as a reactor. Oh, the this thing? I would not recommend to try and adapt this to being a reactor. You will have a nightmare on your hand. Unless you're some kind of like Mr. Wizard, you will have a bit of a nightmare on your hand and way more headaches than necessary in regards to handling the situation. Realistically, would be a big disaster. When DPK Fish Aquariums, what's up? How you doing? Oh, and Dwayne showing up late. What's up, my man? I don't know. There was probably somebody else had a different live stream going, I would guess. Dwayne's a moderator on a bunch of those. So I've seen him pop up with the little Wrench McGee. All right, here's the last little video portion, you guys. Vast little video portion, just a little shot down here of what's going on in the sump. Clearly, I need to get my center refugium and rubble rock in the middle here sorted out, which will be happening very soon. But we just gotta keep plugging along here and working on what I can at the time, because I don't have tons of hours to dedicate to this. But thanks to your guys' contributions here, we'll be able to get a few more projects coming down the pipe, little bit by little bit. Every little dollar counts. Same old fish, shit, different day. I don't know who had a good deal. I don't know. Somebody had a good deal. Does anyone else remember that Elmo keeps a goldfish in a bowl? Stupid gravity always breaking shit. Good point. But Luke's got to go. Luke went, good night. Get a slime coat on the neck. I use Home Depot lava rock. Yeah, Home Depot lava rock can come in for sure handy for a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff coming along. But as I was saying, with this skimmer, I got to run it wide open for a couple of weeks while it breaks in. And in that time frame, I've got a light down here in the sump already for the refugium area where the overflow's coming down. I got some work to do on the overflow, you guys. I gotta up this thing into a I gotta up this thing. I gotta up my overflow into a bit of a bean animal. I've decided to go that route because I am getting a lot of just agitation that's kind of bugging me. So I'm gonna end up swapping that out using one of the Durso overflow as my emergency, and then I'm gonna switch over to a bean animal. But I gotta grab a ball valve and a bit of a adapter to adapt it down a little bit, and I'll show you guys how to do that. It's pretty easy. I would never recommend doing an overflow like that unless it's got an emergency overflow on it, which this one does because I have dual coming down. And seems to me that's going to be the best bet. That's going to make me happy, you happy, and everybody happy. So I'm going to end up going that route and show you guys how to do that thing. So I'll show you guys how to change the overflow from this dual Durso over to a bit of a bean animal and get that thing down. If DPK fish aquariums, maybe some macroalgae would help. There is a big-ass football size chunk of Kato in there that is macroalgae. We'll go back to the video here. You'll see it right over there, that big green ball right over there. So that is the macroalgae for now. I couldn't find any red at any of the stores that I went to, any of the red macro sump algae, but that Kato is going to help out quite a bit for a while. DPK retracted something. I don't know. How many parts per million nitrate do you have to keep? Do you have to keep a marine tank? I don't know what you mean by that question. Doing good. Just shared it on my Facebook. Yeah, but I do have macroalgae in there. I'm not sure what you mean. How many parts per million nitrate do you have to keep a marine tank? I'm not confused by the wording of that question. So if you could try to clarify, like, what's the top end? Yeah, I mean, low. You want low in all tanks. Well, the range, realistically, the range in a reef tank is 5 to 30. I've anything over 30. I know some people go all the way up to like 50, but I wouldn't recommend that. I've never had anything good happen over 30. If the range is what you're asking about, that's the range that I would stay. I would stay under 30 if anything gets high enough. Anything over 30, bad things start to happen. So that 30 range parts per million is never go higher than that. Mangrove snapper for a saltwater tank. What is a mangrove snapper? Let me look that up. I'm going to look up mangrove snapper, my bruh. I can't think of what exactly that fish is. Oh, yeah, those guys. Oh, yeah. It's a snapper. I'm just a weird idiot sometimes. Yeah, I'm not sure how big of a tank you would need for that. I would say you probably be in the grouper range with those guys, which would mean anything over 120, I think. Anything over 120, you'd probably be size enough, and then you'd actually just have to kind of pay attention to how well the fish is doing if you need to upgrade and go bigger. But anything over 120 is probably going to be accurate. You'd have to leave a lot of open space for them because I know those guys are big swimmers. They like to swim a lot. So Anywhere around there. Oh, snap. We are over an hour, you guys, so we got to get to the end here and lock it down for today. Let's see here. We've got no super chatters today. Okay. Well, thanks to nobody. But thank you, everybody, for coming out. Thank you, everybody, for sharing. Thank you, everybody, for chatting with me and coming to spend the hour here on the internet doing internet-type interneting. And we get fully immersed in the internet stuff. Actually, today I spoke to... this is something I wanted to leave till the end. I spoke to somebody who knows a lot about production and production budgets. We shall see where this goes. Hopefully, maybe we'll start to get a good idea on some answers here for some future projects. I'm excited. I bet you're excited. I bet everybody's excited. I would love to do longer versions of this and stuff. And to answer everybody's, I only got a couple of emails from people in regards to length of video, if whether or not the 3-minute recap video is worthwhile or not. I noticed that a lot of people aren't watching them, so, you know, the little counter goes up if people watch them, and it doesn't seem to be going up. So, although a few people have chimed in, I don't think we have a big enough source yet in the world to figure out whether I should be doing the recaps or not. So I'll do a quick recap tomorrow and try to go over anything I forgot. And everybody have a delicious evening. And I'm going to go off to Betty Bye so I can be up by 5 and get back to work and make y'all a short video about mangrove snappers or whatever. All right. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. Jennifer J. Sarcino, first to the chat. Yeah, have fun out there in Australia or wherever the hell you are. Have a good night. I'm not a person to watch unless I'm live. All right. Well, thank you. I guess I'm alive. But anyhow, everybody have yourself a great night. Oh, Billy Payne, go suck a dick. How strong? How strong? Well, see you later, Billy Payne, you old fuck dick. Have a great night, everybody. And be safe out there on the internet and watch out for those Billy Payne kind of guys. Strong trolls like to bring it when it's late night. Later.